feeling today?
Good. Wonderful Tuesday, correct? Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Coach, your defense is performing at such a high level right now. With only one game left in the regular season, do you continue to push for, hey, let's leave the last game as our best game, or is there other things you may be looking at younger players? What's your mindset, sir?
Push is the finish. You gotta finish what we started. The goal is to play great defense and play it consistently, and thankfully we got our last game is here at home in front of our fans and put on a good showing there, limit the explosives from Denver, try to limit the run game and tackle well and get off the blocks, all the stuff we talk about, and that's the goal. That's always the goal. And getting turnover the ball.
Considering you're going up against a pretty familiar quarterback in Jarrett Stidham, what are some challenges that he presents, but also some of the pros that come along with knowing him as well as you guys do?
You know, the thing that stands out to me is, again, the quick decision making. He does have an arm. He's mobile in the pocket. It looked like last week he had a pretty good understanding of the offense that Sean's running. So all the normal challenges, you know, each week we have to prepare for multiple quarterbacks because you never know what could happen in our sport. You know, any game, the next guy could be up. So, you know, looking forward to the challenge. And they got good weapons offensively. And then, you know, the scheme from Sean is, you know, top notch. He's one of the best to ever do it, in my opinion. So we got our hands full this week.
We talked to Antonio about this too, but how do you manage the human side of guys where it's like you're pushing for playoffs, and all of a sudden they know that that's not out there, that's not the carrot that's out there in front of them anymore. Like, how do you deal with that human side with the players?
The human side to me is that they're professional athletes, and you know, the Raiders have done a good job of getting the right people in here to be Raiders, and you only get 17 opportunities guaranteed, and it's a game we love to play, love to coach, and I just can't imagine going out on the field and not playing it to your fullest, coaching it to your fullest. You know, whether we're in our meetings getting ready right now, game planning, we owe that to the players. The players owe the game. We play hard, and it never crosses my mind. Any team I've been a part of that we're not going to play to our fullest, whatever's at stake or what's not at stake. It's the game of football. I mean, the unique thing about football is this: when you're done, you're done. You go play pickup basketball. People play pickup hockey. You play baseball. I mean, you can't play football. I mean, when I played my last football game, that was it. That was it. You can say flag football, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And I think, and I know our guys understand that they cherish this game. It's the best team sport, in my opinion. I'm sure the players would echo that. I'm sure the coaches would echo that. And the game provides so much for us, whether it's a chance to travel the world, to get, you know, the money we make, all that stuff like that, you know, the fun we have, the brotherhood, you owe the game. So, I mean, I don't think I need to bring it up to them because I think that's what everybody signs up for when they play this sport. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Patrick, this has been an up and down year just with things going on that you don't control. I'm just curious, how much fun have you had coaching this group of guys?
I told the guys the other day, and I'm not going to get emotional, I promise you that. But I've had the most fun this year coaching this group of players than I had in my whole career. Plain and simple. Not taking anything away from the guys I've coached before, but their growth, how they've improved, how they embraced myself, the coaches, the turmoil that we faced, and how they laid out there on the line for us. You know, starting with our leader Max. You know, from him to the rookie that has the least amount of playing time, and I've had a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun seeing them, you know, go out there, win games, lose games, and try their best. And try to do what I'm asking them to do, learn from their mistakes. Again, it's just been a real fun year. I mean, been proud to be part of the Raiders. That's been a cool thing, you know, just even when you think about the alumni and the people involved with this organization, it's been cool. I would say dope because I'm from the '90s. That's real dope.
So dope.
Patrick, we've seen the benefit of the continuity here with you and this defense. It's, you know, obviously gotten tremendously better from last year to this year. They're buying into what you're doing and having a better understanding of it, and vice versa. How much do you want to be, you know, part of this thing moving forward?
That stuff's out of my hands. I mean, I just, you know, we got one more game together. Each season is so different, you know, with the NFL. You know, this is the last time this group of players and coaches will be together intact fully. We know that. Regardless of what the situation is. So the important thing is to stay in the present and just cherish this right now. And I promise you, I'm gonna cherish every moment, every meeting. I'm gonna have fun with them. You know, I'm gonna correct them. I'm gonna listen to their input, and then be at my best on Sunday to put them in the right spot and adjust throughout the game and just enjoy the last game with these guys. But enjoy the process too. Enjoy the process. That's gonna be important to me.
Coach,
Specifically, where have you seen the defense grow the most over the season?
I think it started with, you know, just communication from me to them to me. That improved, and then from the communication, I think the vision became clearer for everybody. You know, whatever, you know, when we started the offseason, in terms of the vision, in terms of where we wanted the defense to go, you know, starting with Josh, myself, the staff, and then articulating that to the players and finding the best way to articulate that and get it conveyed to them, and then them having their input, and you can just see through communication, through collaborative effort, being able to see the vision come to life. Again, it hasn't resulted in everything we wanted so far, but that's a big part of it. And once you have that communication and clear understanding of what's expected, the beauty of what these guys do, they try to do it. If you're talking about trying to win games and try to put them in the right spot, they're going to listen. They're going to try to do what you ask them to do, and they've done a good job of that.
Coach, go back to Max Crosby. Obviously, the discussion of Defensive Player of the Year is out there. Can you give us a case for him now as a player on and off the field, and obviously his stats that prove it?
I mean, he's the most disruptive defensive player in the league, in my opinion. I mean, as much attention as he draws in the run in, the pass, and still able to make plays, whether it's tackles for loss, pressures, QB hits, sacks. And then the thing that stands out to me, and I tell him all the time, when he puts on the cape and he does the Superman stuff in terms of the plays from the backside, you know, I mean, like, whether it's a screen, whether it's chasing down the quarterback, whether it's backside on the run. I mean, you know, each week the focus is on him because he's a game wrecker, and he knows that, and he's embraced that, and he's still out there making plays. You know, it speaks to who he is as a person, it speaks to who he is as a player, it speaks to his teammates, because just naturally he's raised the level of his teammates, because everybody's trying to, you know, AP talked about trying to match his level of intensity, and, you know, it's just, you know, the influence he has on this locker room, on this organization, on I think the fan base as well. I can see it, I can't really speak for it, but I mean, it's hard to say who's more valuable to him, in my opinion.
A follow-up question to that. Last week we watched him bring his defense off to the side and have a meeting with them before we even went into the half. Were you familiar to, obviously you give him the trust to do those kinds of situations. Did you know that was gonna happen? Was it something that just came out of nowhere? And how does that work with you understanding what message is being prevailed?
Trust. I trust him. Players trust him. Coaches trust him. You know, his growth as a leader in terms of how he's able to articulate what he wants and what he expects. That's what you assume happens with, you know, with experience. You know, one of the best moments I've seen were in practice when the way he handled a correction with a younger player. I mean, I was just like, went over to him afterward, because I went over there to talk to him. Max said, I got it. Okay, and I watched, and I said, dude, that's dope. You know, like it was cool to see that. I mean, again, been one of the coaches do for a long time, man. So I get a chance to coach him, and it's been great.
Last two, Hondo and Adam.
Coach, I'm curious about you personally. As you look at your defense, do you agree with that assessment? I mean, as good as they've been, have they yet to play their best football? Is there still more they can do?
Absolutely. I mean, we're always chasing for perfection, and especially when you go into a game like this weekend against the Broncos. I mean, it's a division game. You're going against, you know, very talented offense, very good scheme. You know, they got a talented defense on the other side of the ball. There's a bunch of challenges that are still right in front of our face for this weekend. You know, I know those guys are going to be geared up to face those challenges and try to exceed expectations. And I just think that's just how they're built. You know, they're gonna come in here bouncing around, ready to go. Obviously, people are disappointed. It is what it is. You can get mad, but I always talk to them. Don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. You're ready to go.
Last one, Adam.
We've seen the highlight plays that Jack has made since he's been here, but it seemed like he brought like an energy to that room that's, I mean, obviously they had it already too, but that it was almost contagious when he brought it. Have you seen that, and what do you think he's brought to the team since he's been there?
People talk about the energy, and I think that's something that definitely stands out about Jack. But most important, he's a good football player. Good football player in terms of, I think, intellect out there on the field, in terms of being able to decipher things at high speed because they're making, quick decisions out there in a collision sport. You see the study that he puts in terms of the film study and trying to get ready for the game, and just his physical ability. I mean, he's a willing tackler and goes in there and throws his body around. His ability to change direction, his ball skills, those all stand out to me, and his ability to communicate and ask questions and communicate what he's seeing on the field. So, all in all, the energy thing is there, no question. But I don't want to, downplay the fact that he's just a really good football player and he's skilled. That's the beauty of this league. We're talking about skilled athletes who execute, split-second decisions all the time, and he's good at that. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Coach.